Welcome back to the shop. This is a follow-up video on the closing lathe video I posted last week. That video was made some time ago, so I thought I'd bring you up to date and where I'm at with this lathe right now. This lathe is a late 60s, early 70s, 10 by 36 inch tool room lathe. This lathe came out of a high school when they shut down their machine shop. And when I acquired it, it was in pretty bad shape. The gear case was crashed. The compound was pretty much chunked up. There was broken gears in the drive mechanism. So I thought this thing's going to need some love. So I found, after searching for weeks, a new gearbox on eBay. That was $600. I'm sure I paid way too much for it, but in my eyes it was well worth it because it was complete. It bolted right up to the unit and I was up and running. Of course, after fixing a couple broken gears on the inside here. This lathe is a really neat lathe. It's got a lot of unique features, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But it's got a 1 3/4, 8 threads per inch spindle nose. It's a Morse taper 4, and it's an 1 16" through bore. I have a 3-jaw China chuck for it. I have a 4-jaw original chuck that came with the lathe, and I have an original faceplate for it. The tailstock was also in pretty bad shape. It was missing the original handle, which I just made this one for it. It doesn't look anything like the factory original one, which came out and came up like that with a ball on it. So this works just fine. The quill threaded Acme thread was totally screwed up because it would only come out like 1 inch. So when Bruce Witham and Randy Richard were visiting the shop, Bruce made me a new Acme screw for this, and now it extends all the way out. Something I wouldn't have been able to do on my own, so I have to give Bruce and Randy a big shout out. Bruce actually ground the high-speed tool bit and cut it on my Grizzly lathe and did a fantastic job. I learned a lot on that one for sure. But everything on the tailstock now works flawlessly. It's very smooth. Very accurate. The adjustments are pretty easy to do. I didn't really have to adjust it that much. So it's now the tailstock is in great condition and works just fine. The Tailstock Quill is a Morse taper number 2. I added an Aloris AXA quick change tool post. This really nice carriage stop came from my buddy Greg Halligan, and it's an original carriage stop for this machine. It fits perfect. It's beautiful. Thank you, Greg. That thing is really nice. Besides having every thread pitch you can imagine, one really cool feature of this machine, which I actually found by mistake and didn't realize it did this, was you could feed the carriage and the compound in for taper cuts at the same time. Check this out. Another really neat feature of this lathe is this hand wheel, which was missing when I acquired the lathe. But it's kind of neat having this hand wheel to move your chuck. I also use it as a brake. It's nice and smooth, easy to use. The oversized built-in chip tray is really nice. It's easy to clean. It has this indentation, which I'm really not sure what it's for. Another nice feature is a storage locker. And guys, you're probably wondering, why didn't I sand this thing down and repaint it and make it look brand new? Well, to be honest with you, this right here is why I didn't. I wanted to keep the nostalgia of this machine, its patina, because this thing has a story. If I were to completely restore this and make it a shop trophy, or a shop queen, whatever you want to call it, I think I would have taken away from the machine. Everything here is original. A couple little minor things like the tailstock handle I made isn't factory, but for the most part, it's all original. I put a couple accenting pieces on it. I added chrome acorn nuts, just to make it look a little prettier. Those chrome acorn nuts here. The lathe has 6 speeds, which is a manual belt change. You could do it pretty easily, pretty quickly. As you can see here, it's a pulley system. But I gotta tell you, this lathe all in all is a really nice machine. I am really lucky that the ways are not worn down. It cuts like a dream, and I'll tell you what, the best part of this machine, it threads like a dream. Every thread pitch possible that I ever need it anyway. The only thing it doesn't have is metric. You can get a whole nother set of gear set for it, so it cuts metric threads, but I have the Grizzly for that, so there's no sense in me spending the money for that gear set. So guys, there's an update for it. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoy this lathe. I encourage you to find one if you could. Not sure what they go for, but it's a great little machine, and it's nice having two lathes, because if I have the big lathe set up with something I can't take down, I can bang it out on this little guy. It's a great lathe. Like I said, it runs like a dream, man. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. So until next time, see ya.